Hi, I'm Hannah, and this is One-to-One Health Kick. This is our last segment focusing on carbohydrates. Today, we are taking the items we purchased at the grocery store and preparing some simple, low-cost meals. So put on your aprons and let's get cooking. Yesterday, I left you with the following question of the day. When choosing sweetener alternatives, why is stevia a recommended choice? We have not gotten into much about the topic of sweetener alternatives, but it can be very helpful for those trying to eliminate added sugar from their diet or for diabetics. Stevia is relatively new on the market and causing quite a stir because it's one of the first natural alternative sweeteners. There's no such thing as a Splenda plant or a Sweet and Low plant because scientists in a lab make these products. Stevia comes from a stevia plant and is a sweet substance without any calories. Stevia is about 100 times sweeter than sugar, so always add a small amount to your food and add more if needed. Today we're going to cook with different carbohydrates. Each of the recipes I'm using today is from Good and Cheap, Eat Well on $4 a day. The cookbook is free to download and is the culmination of a master's level degree in food studies by NYU student Leanne Brown. Let's start with breakfast. Oatmeal is healthy and versatile. If you've never prepared your own oatmeal, or if it's been a while since you've tried oatmeal, I would invite you to try one of her 6 oatmeal recipes. Oatmeal and its toppings are inexpensive and easy and include cinnamon, frozen berries, and fresh apples. For the berry version, simply add half a cup of fresh or frozen berries and a tablespoon of sugar or stevia to the basic oatmeal. You can add this 2 minutes before it's done. Or for the apple cinnamon version, cook the oats in 2 cups of apple juice instead of water and add 1 teaspoon of cinnamon and a cored chopped apple. Crock pot oats are one of my favorite healthy and hearty breakfast options. Cooking rolled oats this way eliminates the microwave and can be prepared the night before and cook all night. Now on to lunch and dinner. I'm a big believer in cook once, eat all week. For me, this usually means roasting a pan of vegetables on Sunday and then using them to top whole grain pasta, rice, or quinoa, along with a sprinkle of Parmesan cheese, and eating this over a course of 2 to 3 days. To add protein, you can use canned tuna or rotisserie chicken, or for a vegetarian version, add beans and peas to round out a delicious meal. Today, we will review the simplest and easiest way to add vegetables to your diet with the roasted vegetables recipe. Then we will make vegetable jambalaya. First, we're going to cut some broccoli, potatoes, Brussels sprouts, and cauliflower, some of my personal favorite roasted vegetables. Toss them in some olive oil. Add pepper and Mrs. Dash if you like. We spread these out on a cookie sheet with foil. Throw them in the oven to roast. While these are in the oven, we're going to make our jambalaya over medium to high heat. Add onion, pepper, and celery and cook for about 5 minutes until they become translucent but not brown. Add 3 cloves of garlic, finely chopped, a small green chili, finely chopped, 2 large tomatoes, chopped, 2 bay leaves, paprika, garlic powder, cayenne pepper, half a teaspoon of dried thyme and oregano, a teaspoon of salt and pepper, and a teaspoon of Worcestershire sauce or soy sauce. Add the rice and slowly pour in the broth. Reduce the heat to medium and let the dish cook until the rice absorbs all the liquid. It should take about 20 to 25 minutes. If you're using any of the additions, throw them in about 15 minutes into it. This dish is spicy, savory, and deeply satisfying. The leftovers are great for making burritos on whole wheat tortillas. That's all the time we have today, but I hope you will download a copy of Good and Cheap. And if you're new to the kitchen, read her introduction on choices and basics, pantry basics, and tips. for some helpful hints on making cooking at home simple, cost-effective, and fun. Most importantly, I hope that you have gained an appreciation for carbohydrates and the role carbohydrates play in your body, especially when it comes to fighting disease. The foods that supply our bodies with much-needed carbohydrates, and tips for reducing added sugar. Whether you're eating out, shopping at the grocery store, or cooking in your own kitchen, carbohydrates are a necessary and critical part of your diet. Next week, we will turn our attention towards our third and last energy-providing nutrient, protein. But before we go, here's your health kick question of the day. At minimum, what % of your daily carbohydrates should be whole grain? We'll have the answer for today's question in the upcoming segment. Until then, practice making your favorite recipe at home. Let's summarize what we talked about today. Try cooking once and eating all week. For breakfast, try rolled oats in a crock pot with different spices and fruit combinations. Practice roasting vegetables and try a new vegetable every season. For a great tool, download the book Good and Cheap.